Did you know that studies show an average American is going to gain anywhere between 6 and 15 pounds over the course of the winter holidays? So on average, about 8 pounds that someone's going to gain in this period of time. And in this video, I'm going to show you 3 simple steps that you can do right now for this not to happen to you. So we're not going to be a part of that average statistic and gain 8 pounds or 10 pounds or 15. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly how not to do that and how to not gain any weight. But before we go there, click the subscribe button below, because on this channel, we're going to learn how to build strong, healthy, high-performing physique as a successful entrepreneur without starvation, without cardio, and without giving up carbs. So let's go. What's up, everyone? This is Coach Amir from 7figurebody.com, and in today's video, we're going to talk about how to not gain weight over the holidays. As you guys probably know, there have been a bunch of studies done and showed that, which, surprise to nobody, most people gain weight over the winter holidays. So, we have Thanksgiving, we have Christmas, we have New Year, and a lot of times somewhere in between those, one of the child, or children is going to have a birthday, you're going to have a birthday, something happens usually that we have, not just these 3 occasions to celebrate and eat everything we can, but usually there's something more, right? Either there's a family gathering or something like that, or some kind of a, company or business party or whatever it is. A lot of times there are a lot of opportunities to eat a lot. And because of this, most people gain weight. So I got 3 simple steps for you on exactly what to do for this not to be you, how not to gain weight over this, winter holidays this year. Before that, let me just share with you one mindset that I would highly suggest that you adopt. And that is, most people think, okay, let's say it's mid-November and, I got 6 weeks of this year. I'm tired, exhausted. It's been a long year. It's been hard. All kinds of things are happening in the world. And I just need to relax and chill. So I'm going to eat everything I want. If I gain 15 pounds until New Year, that's fine. I don't care, because on January 3rd or 2nd, 200 million people in the US are going to write down lose weight as their #1 New Year's resolution. Now, guys, you do know 99+% of the people who write that do not lose any weight. They just keep that weight and they continue with 15 pounds more as their norm. Let's not do that, okay? So that's why the main thing is not having the mindset of, oh, for these 6 weeks or 8 or 4, whatever, I don't really care. I'm going to eat everything I want. Your body does not care if it's holidays, if it's this or that. It's going to gain weight if you overeat. Just like it would at any other time, of course. So your mindset is the most important thing. Instead of having that mindset of, I'm going to eat whatever I want and just gain 15 pounds and it's fine, okay? Instead, I would suggest having the mindset of, hey, holiday season is amazing. We spend time with family, but this is actually not 6 weeks. This is only, let's say 3 occasions, Thanksgiving, Christmas and New Year. And each of these we celebrate for what? Maybe 1-2 days. Let's say it's 2 days for 3 holidays. That's 6 total days. Okay, even if you quote unquote mess up and overeat for 6 days, it's not going to be a big deal. You may gain a pound or 2, but it's easy to work that off with exercise by eating less the next day, etc., right? However, it's not that easy to, if you just let go for 6 weeks and don't exercise and do, basically eat anything you want as much as you want. That changes the game a lot, because you can gain a lot of weight. So that's the mindset shift, the first one that I would suggest, from saying, oh, I don't care about what happens for 6 weeks. Say, hey, this is only like 4, 5, 6 days, and that I can absolutely manage any way I want. Okay, there's a bunch of ways to do that, and I'm going to share the 3 easiest, simplest, most effective ways for you for doing that, okay, and to not gain any weight. So first one is, remember, your diet is the most important part. Of course, if you overeat, your calories go above your maintenance, you're going to be gaining weight, et cetera, et cetera. So we need to not be in a surplus of calories. So how do we manage that? #1 way is include a protein serving as the first thing you eat in every meal. That's it. So I'm talking just specifically on these days. So let's say, we have Thanksgiving, we have the Christmas and New Year. So what do you do on these particular days to not gain weight? Because the rest of the time you should be eating normally like you normally are, right? So not being in a surplus. But let's just talk specifically. Let's say it's Christmas Day and you're like, okay, or Christmas night. Tonight, the family's getting together. There's going to be a bunch of food. What do I do to not gain weight and not be in a multiple thousand calorie surplus on that day? here's what to do. First thing, as I said, include protein source in all the meals prior to that dinner, usually, right? So if you're having breakfast and lunch, if you're skipping breakfast, keep skipping it, that's fine. But if you normally have breakfast and lunch, include a protein source first. How much protein should you eat? 4 ounces is the size, thickness, and diameter of the palm of your hand. 4 ounces of chicken, and of course, please use or choose a leaner options. So instead of red meat, choose poultry. Instead of fattier fish, choose white fish, which basically has no fat, so has much less calories, right? 4 ounces is around, 20 to 25 grams of protein. It's gonna have like 100-ish calories, okay? So for women, just use 4 ounces. It's gonna be awesome. For most men, somewhere between 4 and 8 ounces. So, 2 of these or 1.5 of the servings of that with each meal. Start each meal with that. This is gonna do wonders for you. It's gonna control your blood sugar level, keep you satiated, and protein takes forever to digest, very long time. And because of that, it's the most satiating macronutrient of them all. Of course, the second thing you should do is add vegetable to that. Okay, so number 1, eat more protein. Number 2, add vegetable to that. And that's pretty much it when it comes to food. That's all you need to do. Use leaner sources. And let's hypothetically say you have the dinner and you say, I'm going to eat everything I want, which you should. So for your breakfast and lunch, have 4 to 8 ounces of leaner protein. Let's say in the morning, if you're having eggs, have 1 whole egg and a bunch of egg whites. You get a ton of protein, very low calories. Add some low-fat cheese or some, tomato, cucumber, something else with that's a vegetable. Now you had, 200-300 calorie meal that's very low calories, but very satiating. It's going to keep you full for hours, okay? So that's the same thing, just a different version of these sources you use for lunch. So let's say if you had that, egg white frittata or some kind of omelet based mainly on egg whites for breakfast, lunch can be 4 to 8 ounces of chicken breast, some other poultry, turkey breast. It can be any leaner fish you want, and a huge salad or a bunch of vegetables. And then if you do these 2 meals, now you're going into your dinner, not going to be hungry because these are very filling, high calorie, very low calorie, but highly satiating, high fiber meals and high protein, which is amazing. You're gonna have a very, very low calorie intake up to that dinner. So for dinner, you can have anything you want. Now for extra points, so the first thing, add protein. Number 2, add a bunch of vegetables. Number 3, exercise. Please guys, remember, exercise, generally speaking, burns way fewer calories than we think. And as such is not really a big deal here, meaning you're not gonna eat everything you want and just do an hour in the gym, be like, that's fine. It's not. In the gym, you probably burn 200 to 300 calories per hour, if that. And a huge meal where you eat anything you want, depending on your appetite and your physical size, I can easily have a 2,000 plus calorie meal if I eat anything I want and have desserts. And in the gym, you burn 300 calories, right? So what, are you gonna work out 8 hours to burn off that one meal? It never works out, okay? However, that's not to say don't exercise. I absolutely suggest you do exercise. You just don't count on that thing alone to be the savior. It's not gonna be. But when it comes to exercise, there are 2 things, cardio and lifting weights, right? Or some kind of resistance training. In cardio, if you're doing that, I would much rather you do a longer duration, lower intensity cardio rather than high intensity, shorter one. So you know how people say, oh, I'm just gonna do the, intervals, like the sprint for 30 seconds and then maybe for a minute or 2 go slow and repeat that 10 times, 20 minutes in, you're done. Sure, but you're gonna burn a very small number of calories if you do that. On the other hand, if you do an hour, for example, 45 minutes, an hour or longer of a lower intensity cardio, you're gonna burn way more calories, which is then better, okay? That's when it comes to cardio. When it comes to lifting weights, I highly suggest not doing the bro split. I'm gonna do my chest today and that's it. You're gonna burn next to nothing calories and you won't stimulate growth in the muscle you're actually training. Because remember, that muscle protein synthesis being elevated, meaning your ability to build muscle is very local. Meaning if you train your chest, nothing in the rest of your body grows, right? If you train your bicep and that's it, you're gonna burn 10 calories and nothing else grows. Because of this, I highly suggest you do full body exercise every time. So particularly what I do on these days, I have a huge appetite. I can eat thousands of calories and I do eat anything I want on these days. But what I do is usually I'd have a protein shake for breakfast. If I'm rushing and don't have time, if I have time, I just make a huge omelet made out of egg whites and some kind of cucumber with that. My lunch would, as I said, be 8 ounces of chicken breast with huge amounts of vegetables. Now, all of that is maybe 500 calories together. So I'm going into the dinner, at 7, 8 p.m. when family gets together, and I'm eating 500 calories. But between that and the dinner, I'm also gonna do a workout. That can be either a hour run, hour cycling. These days, it's like 20 degrees outside. It's freaking cold. You can't do any biking. So I would either go for a very low intensity hour-long run, or I would go to the gym. Much more likely I would go to the gym because it's too cold to even run. Like you can't breathe, that's how cold it is. So basically I go to the gym and do a full body workout. Like I would do every single muscle, 2 to 3 sets per each muscle group. So that's 20 something, total sets. You can do this in 45, 50 minutes too. Let's say in and out of the gym, not including your, shower and all of that, is an hour, like in and out of the gym. So I would have that for breakfast, like egg white frittata of some sort. 8 ounces of chicken breast or some kind of leaner fish with a bunch of vegetables. At noon, I would do the workout at like 4 o'clock, and then at 5 o'clock I'm done, and then I'm going into the dinner and I can eat anything I want. And I'm definitely not gonna be in a surplus if I do that, and that's the exact same thing that I suggest to you. So guys, these are the 3 things you can do. Focus on the diet. The 2 of them are gonna focus on the diet because it's the biggest thing. More protein and more vegetables in the meals prior to it, and then either a full body workout or a longer cardio session. Just do these and I guarantee you, you're not gonna gain any weight. You're not gonna be like millions of people around the world who are gonna gain up to 15 pounds in only the last couple of weeks of this year. So guys, hope you liked this. Hope you found it valuable. If you did, please click the like button below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you next time. Cheers, guys.